Round two of the NBL 25 season, and how good is it to have basketball back on our TVs and monitors? Now, I'm going to preview the Friday night games, the Illawarra Hawks and Brisbane Bullets, followed by Perth and Sydney. Two massive games with implications for top seeding heading out of round two, and also teams that will be playing double games this weekend. How good is it to have 7 games on for the NBL round two weekend? Now, the first one, Illawarra and Brisbane. These two teams had very different starts to their NBL 25 campaigns. Brisbane, they went in as underdogs against the Breakers, but there was a little bit of sentiment that maybe their big guys could get down, knuckle down there, down low, and score some points on the Breakers without Freddie Gillespie. That didn't eventuate. Tyrell Harrison had only 4 shots, and Rocco Zakarski only about 7 minutes on the court. Now, things could definitely change when they come up against Illawarra here, who are also a big team, but I just don't see them having the defensive depth to match up against Darius Days and Sam Froling and Lockie Albridge and Trey Kell III. Like, where are they going to stop them? Illawarra just have weapons all over the court, and I think that's what's going to make the difference here. The Hawks took the most rebounds of any team in round one, while Brisbane took only 24 rebounds, I think it was, themselves in their game against the Breakers. So a mismatch in points, a mismatch in defense, a mismatch in rebounds. I think the Hawks are going to win this one quite comfortably. I don't see Brisbane getting over their team total either. I think it's set at about 86.5 or something. So Brisbane team total under, and the Hawks to win and cover the short line. It's only 5.5 points. We love that. Get behind the Hawks. They're going to topple the Bullets. Now, game 2, Perth and Sydney. 2 heavyweights going at it here in round 2 already. These teams, both of them are tipped to be top 4. Sydney Kings were the favourites, and I think probably still are heading into round 2 to take out the championship this year. Now, there were some inconsistencies we've seen with the Kings' defence, especially in their game against the 36ers in round 1 at Hoops Fest. And they're coming up against a Perth team who are very strong at home. Okay, so the second best team on their home court last season, and they have a very solid team. So everything is built around Bryce Cotton, and they've added shooting. So Keanu Pinder has picked up where he left off last year, and guys like Ben Henschel and Elijah Pepper have come in and creating that offense outside of Bryce Cotton. I think coming into this game, Sydney still are working out their rotation. So they had a lot of minutes spread across their guys last week, and guys like Lua Pepe started while Space Cam come off the bench. And now, it could be a good tactic further down the line, but up against a team like Perth, you want to put your strong players out against their strong players to not fall too far behind. Now, the Kings weren't especially good on the road themselves last season, 6-8 on the road, but it is a vastly different team this year. They're going to go over to Perth, and they're going to have to regroup, get their red eye back to Sydney to take on Illawarra on the Sunday. So a lot of thoughts, I think, going through this team's head about how they're going to use their rotations to make sure that they can back up on the Sunday against Illawarra. Some interesting stats out of round 1. Perth attempted 47 shots from the perimeter, the most of any team in round 1, whilst they also took the second most rebounds of any team, so 44 there. So shooting from deep, getting in and crashing the boards on both the offensive and defensive ends. Sydney allowed their opponent to connect on 61.5% of their 3-point attempts. Adelaide there. So I don't expect that number to be this big. Okay, this week Adelaide were on fire from deep. But with a team like Perth that do take their shots from 3, you can't afford, if you're Sydney, to be so lackadaisical on defense. They're the 2 games this Friday night. Perth will cover the line against Sydney. The total I expect to go over there. Illawarra will cover the line against Brisbane, and Brisbane's team total will go under. Enjoy your round 2 weekend of NBL action. Let us know what you like about these videos down in the comments. See if you're following us or if you're fading our tips. Gamble responsibly. Enjoy your weekend.